I lived in a small seaside village. My father, a renowned cartographer, had vanished at sea a year ago.
One rainy afternoon, Kai stumbled upon a rolled-up parchment in a dusty chest. It was a map, unlike any he had ever seen. The map depicted a mysterious island marked Isla de Luna. A cryptic note mentioned the legendary pirate Aramis and his hidden treasure.
My heart pounded in my chest. Could this be the key to finding my father?
Kai carefully studied the map, tracing the route with his finger. The journey wouldn't be easy, but Kai was determined. He began packing his bag, his mind already picturing the adventure ahead. Under the next full moon, Kai set sail. He had spent weeks preparing, gathering supplies and studying the stars. He had borrowed a small, sturdy sailboat from a friendly fisherman. The sea was calm at first, bathed in the silvery glow of the moon.
As days turned into nights, the weather took a turn. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and the wind howled fiercely. Waves crashed against the small boat, tossing it around like a toy. I held on tight, my knuckles white against the helm. I had never experienced such a violent storm. Fear gnawed at me, but I refused to give up.
The storm raged for 3 days and 3 nights. Just when he thought he couldn't take it anymore, the clouds began to part. The storm subsided, leaving behind a calm, glistening sea.
As the full moon rose again, a mystical sight unfolded before my eyes. Isla de Luna. Exhausted but exhilarated, I steered the boat towards the shore, my heart pounding with anticipation.
The island was even more enchanting up close. Ancient trees with gnarled branches reached towards the sky, their leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. Strange, luminous flowers bloomed along the shore, casting an ethereal glow.
I stepped onto the sandy beach, my feet sinking into the soft sand. I ventured into the island's interior, following a narrow, overgrown path. The deeper I went, the more I felt a sense of awe and wonder.
The path led him to a clearing. In the center stood a massive, moss-covered stone structure resembling an ancient temple.
As I approached the temple entrance, a large owl swooped down from the trees, landing on a branch above me. I took a deep breath and stepped inside.
The temple's interior was dark and cool. Moonlight filtered through cracks in the ceiling, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air.
I followed a winding corridor, my footsteps echoing in the silence.
He reached a large wooden door. He pushed against the door and it creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber. In the center of the room sat a single wooden chest, bathed in a beam of moonlight.
This was it.
He rushed towards the chest, his hands trembling with anticipation. He threw open the lid, expecting to see heaps of gold and jewels, but the chest was empty.
I slumped against the chest, my dreams of treasure fading away. Then, I noticed something. Etched into the bottom of the chest was a single word: knowledge.
Kai's eyes widened. He suddenly understood. Aramis's true treasure wasn't gold or jewels, it was knowledge. Kai looked around the chamber again, this time with new eyes. He noticed shelves built into the walls filled with books and scrolls.
As I browsed through the books, I found a small, leather-bound journal tucked away on a shelf. I opened it and began to read. The handwriting was familiar. It was my father's.
His father had found the island before him. He had been studying Aramis's library, learning from the pirate's wisdom.
In the journal, my father wrote about the importance of knowledge, the thrill of discovery, and the value of following one's own path.
Tears welled up in Kai's eyes. He felt closer to his father than ever before. He realized that his father's disappearance wasn't a tragedy, but a continuation of his adventurous spirit. He had followed his heart, just as Kai had done. And in doing so, he had left behind a legacy far greater than any gold or jewels. He had given Kai the gift of knowledge, the courage to explore, and the understanding that true treasure lies in the journey itself. Kai spent days exploring the island, reading his father's journal and immersing himself in Aramis's library.
I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I would follow in my father's footsteps. I would become an explorer, a cartographer, a seeker of knowledge.
When the next full moon arrived, Isla de Luna began to fade into the mist, just as it had appeared. Kai sailed away, leaving the island behind but carrying its treasures with him. He had not found gold, but he had found something far more valuable, his father's legacy and the beginning of his own adventure. The journey back was smooth and uneventful. As he approached his village, he saw the familiar coastline emerge from the horizon. He felt a sense of peace and excitement.
As I stepped onto the shore, I knew that my journey had just begun. The world was vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. I had a map in my heart, a thirst for knowledge, and the spirit of adventure burning bright within me.
He smiled, knowing that his father would be proud. He set off towards the village, ready to embrace the adventures that lay ahead.